Hi everybody, Dan Oman here with some exciting news. DRF Formulator, the gold standard in past performance information, is now free, exclusively on DRF Bets. Join DRF Bets with the promo code WINNING, get a $250 first deposit match bonus, a $10 free bet, and free Formulator already uploaded to your account. Access Formulator's premium features, including sortable trainer stats, race replays, personalized trip notes, and lots more. Free Formulator, exclusively on DRF Bets.
The third of three graded stakes races on Saturday at Santa Anita is the Grade 2 San Pasqual. It's a mile and 1/8, and this is the final local prep for the Santa Anita Handicap that will be run on March 5th. The San Pasqual, or the handicap division, I should say, is a little bit light right now because some of the top members of the division have gone chasing riches elsewhere. Stiletto Boy, he went down to Gulfstream Park and finished a creditable third in the Pegasus World Cup. Hot Rod Charlie, he's in Dubai. He actually is scheduled to run on Friday. Watch out for a long shot in the Hot Rod Charlie race on Friday in Dubai, Kafut. Okay, I don't want to get too far off topic. And the other horse that I would love to see here, his name is Midcourt, because he fits against this Grade 2 caliber type horse, but Midcourt needs Lasix to run. And Lasix is not allowed in graded stakes races in California. So his trainer, John Sheriffs, is shopping for a race somewhere else where Midcourt can be administered Lasix. So the San Pasqual is missing Stiletto Boy, Hot Rod Charlie, Midcourt. Country Grammar's not quite ready to come back quite yet. So we are left with a field of 6. Let's take a look at the field. It's race number 8. They're going a mile and 1/8 on dirt, obviously, and another relatively small field. In fact, the 3 graded stakes races on Saturday have a total of 17 runners, including this 6-pack. At least this 6-pack includes 5 graded stakes winners. The only non-graded stakes winner in the field is American Theorem, and he's actually grade 1 placed. So for a small field in February, running for only $200,000, this race actually came up kind of strong. And it's an interesting race because for the first time in his career, if he wins, Express Train will be winning back-to-back races. It's something he's never done. He's one of the top members of the handicap division in California, but he has never won back-to-back races. Express Train 5 for 16. All right, let's talk a little bit about some of these horses, and let's start off by looking at the San Antonio that Express Train won last time out. Express Train is back in third. That's 8 rings down on the inside, Hot Rod Charlie in between, and Express Train on the outside, making his first start in nearly 3 months. And he is grinding and grinding and grinding, and strong finishing jockey Victor Espinoza, he knew what he had under him. And Express Train knew what to do, making his first start in nearly 3 months, and he won this mile and 1/16 race going away. This was kind of a key race for Express Train. He was expected to run in the Breeders' Cup Classic, and I was going to bet him at 1,000,000 to 1, but he was playing around when he was returning to the barn after schooling in the paddock, playing around, and he kicked himself and sustained a hock injury that swelled up, and he had to scratch from the Breeders' Cup Classic. So his comeback race last time out, Express Train, on December 26th in the San Antonio, was his first start in nearly 3 months, and he kind of picked up in top form. Now it's been a month since then, 5 weeks about, and Express Train is training well. Victor Espinoza rode him for the first time last time out. Now he knows the horse, and the key with Express Train is the break. It's not that he needs to be forwardly placed, but he needs to be engaged early. Express Train has in the past been a little bit lazy early in the race. And when he does that, he drops too far off. He kind of loses interest and just passes horses late. But Espinoza understands the key with Express Train is to get him away from the gate, get him engaged early, and he can still establish a mid-pack position and a finishing kick, but he needs to break running. Express Train breaks from post number 2 on Saturday, and assuming a clean break and assuming he establishes position, Express Train will enter with no real early alibi, I should say. As far as the horse that finished third in the race we just saw, that's 8 rings, 8 Rings is interesting in the San Pasqual because I think he's going to make the lead. As far as I'm concerned, the horse that makes the lead is the most important horse in the race because he or she is the horse that dictates the tempo of the race. The pace setter is the horse that determines whether the race will be run by a front runner, a pace presser, or a deep closer. So 8 Rings is interesting. If he can clear away from American Theorem, you have to give 8 Rings a chance. I know that he lost going a mile and 1/16 last time out. Sometimes it's a lot easier for a front runner to stretch his speed at a longer distance. It all depends on how much pressure he and American Theorem put on one another. Okay, speaking of American Theorem, he was a very good 2-year-old, a promising 2-year-old a couple of years ago. In fact, he finished second behind 8 Rings in the Grade 1 American Pharoah, and then he had some setbacks. He kind of took a while to come back around. But last time around, he came around in a big way. Let's take a look at the stretch run of American Theorem, winning a one other than. And this gray 5-year-old, he won for fun. He did get an easy lead. They went 48, 12 and change, and American Theorem was long gone. But sometimes all it takes is a confidence-building win for these back class horses to return to form and move up the ladder. And I say back class probably with air quotes around it because American Theorem's biggest accomplishment before that allowance win was finishing second in the Grade 1 American Pharoah back in 2019. But he's back in top form. He will be forwardly placed at a mile and 1/8 distance that often rewards speed. And again, if he and 8 Rings can stay out of each other's way, you'd have to give a look to both of them. Okay, a horse that really got good after he was gelded. We talked about the improvement that Subconscious, the likely favorite in the Thunder Road Race 1, Subconscious improved after he was gelded, and so did Law Professor. Law Professor was actually gelded last summer, and he ran once as a gelding at Santa Anita. And then he came back and won a comeback race. And last time out, he was expected to run on grass in the Mathis Mile. Well, guess what? It got wet on opening week at Santa Anita, and the Mathis Mile was moved from grass to dirt. Did it bother Law Professor? Well, you be the judge. Let's take a look at the stretch run of the Mathis Mile, and Law Professor and Beyond Brilliant throwing it down through the lane. That's Law Professor on the outside. After making the lead, he started kind of gawking around, looking around. Beyond Brilliant tries to come back on the inside, couldn't quite do it. Law Professor, he seemed kind of green in this race, and it was interesting because that was his 7th career start, but late in the race, he won clear. He can get away with acting green and gawking around against Beyond Brilliant, a turf horse on dirt. He won't be able to do the same thing on Saturday because this is a better field Law Professor faces than he did last time out. So we're looking for Law Professor to continue his improving pattern, but the horse to beat, it has to be Express Train. He has repeatedly finished on or front close to the winner in top class races, including Grade 1s. He finished second last year in the Santa Anita Handicap. His comeback race was solid. And 1 year ago in the San Pasqual, the 2021 San Pasqual, take a look at Express Train. This was kind of his coming out party. And Express Train won for fun. Idol finished third. Idol would come back and win the Grade 1 Santa Anita Handicap. But this is Express Train when he is on his game, and he won clear a year ago in the San Pasqual. I think most bettors would expect him to do the same. He has a race under his belt, a confidence-building comeback victory. We know that he can get a mile and 1/8. We know he likes the Santa Anita racetrack. And as long as he breaks running, and as long as he gets pace to run at, Express Train is the most likely winner of the San Pasqual. I also respect the improving form of Law Professor, and I suspect that Law Professor could potentially slip through the cracks from a parimutuel perspective. His odds might be higher than his chances really are. He's a good horse, Law Professor is, and he is getting better. But the horse to beat in the San Pasqual is Express Train. It's race 8, Saturday at Santa Anita.